Hello students, how are you today? I hope you're doing fine. By the way, I am Simbajon and I am your teacher for today's video. Our lesson for today is all about measurement, but we're just focusing on measuring length. Before we start our discussion, let's have first our objectives in this video. First, learn how to convert values from one unit to another. Second, determine word problem that involve conversion of units and measurement. And lastly, solve word problems that involve conversion of units and measurement in a variety of strategies. So pack your things up and ride with me throughout our lesson. For a short review of a history of measurement, back then, ancient Egyptians used units of measurement based on body parts such as handspan, foot, steps, and cubit, which is the length of the forearm from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. This means that back then the measurement was not fixed because we have different sizes of body parts. Some have a longer handspan or a forearm, and some are shorter than others. Until the measuring devices have been discovered, that is why we have now the English system and the metric system of measurement, which become dominant in terms of units used in measuring length. Now let's go first to the metric system of measurement. Here are the 7 basic units in metric system. Starting from the left, moving to the right, we have kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, cinti, and then milli. Starting at the base unit and moving to the left, the deca would have the value of 10, hecto would have the value of 100, and kilo would have the value of 1,000. Next, we started the base, which would have a value of 1. And move to the right, the deci would have the value of 1 over 10, cinti is 1 over 100, and milli is 1 over 1,000. And since we are measuring length, then our base unit is meter. Now let's try to convert values using metric system. Let's have an example. Convert 4 kilometer to meter. Since there are 4 jumps to the right from kilometer to meter, then you can directly move the decimal to 3 decimal places, going to the right. Or you can use the conversion factor, which in every 1 kilometer, there are 1,000 meter. Then you can multiply 4 and 1,000, the answer is 4,000 meter. Now let's move to English system of measurement. When converting from one unit of measure to another, you should know what is called the conversion factor. Here are some examples of conversion factor in English system of measurement. Let's try to convert 10 feet to inches. Since 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, then we can multiply 10 feet to 12 inches over 1 foot. Cancel the unit foot or feet, and the answer is 120 inches. Now let's have an example of a real-life scenario that involves conversion of units and measurement. 2 friends, Zale and Enzo, ran in a marathon. Zale finished a 21-kilometer marathon in Cebu, while Enzo finished a 15-mile marathon in Los Angeles. Who between the two ran a longer distance? By how many meters? To solve word problem and to determine if it involves conversion of units and measurement, all you need to do is to list down all the given and what is asked in the problem. In this case, we have the given 21-kilometer run by Zale in a marathon in Cebu and 15-mile run by Enzo in a marathon in Los Angeles. And what are we trying to find out in this problem? As we can see, there are 2 questions in the problem. First, who between the two ran a longer distance? And second, by how many meters? Since the unit asked in the problem is meter and the given is in the unit of kilometer and mile, then we are going to convert the given values into the units of meters. And therefore, we can say that it involves conversion of units and measurement. Now, let's start solving the problem. Let's convert first the distance run by Zale, which is 21 kilometer to meter. We can use the conversion factor that in every kilometer, there are 1,000 meter. And so, we can multiply 21 kilometer to 1,000 meter over 1 kilometer. And the answer is 21,000 meter. Next is convert the distance run by Enzo, which is 15 mile to meter. In this case, we are going to convert first from mile to kilometer and kilometer to meter. We can use the conversion factor that in every mile, there is 1.6 kilometer. And in every kilometer, there are 1,000 meters. So we can multiply 15 miles to 1.6 kilometer over 1 mile times 1,000 meter over 1 kilometer. And the answer is 24,000 meter. And now, we already have the distance run by Zale and Enzo in the unit of meter. Let's answer now the question, who between the two ran a longer distance? And by how many meters? We can directly subtract the distance run by Enzo and run by Zale. And we get 24,000 meter minus 21,000 meter, which is equal to 3,000 meter. Therefore, Enzo ran a longer distance and he ran 3,000 meter more than the distance run by Zale. Let's have another example. Sarah is running in a 42-mile marathon. How many more feet does Sarah needs to run if she already covered 64,240 yards? Let's figure out first the given and what is asked in the problem. We have here 42 miles, which is the distance of the marathon Sarah is running, and 64,240 yards, which is the distance already covered by Sarah. And the problem is asking the remaining distance that Sarah needs to run to finish the marathon in the unit of feet. But since the given are in yard and mile, therefore, we are going to convert the given value into feet. Let's convert first the distance of the marathon, which is 42 miles, and we can use the conversion factor that in every mile, it is equal to 5,280 feet. And so, we can multiply 42 miles to 5,280 feet over 1 mile, and it is equal to 221,760 feet. Next is convert 64,240 yards to feet. We can use the conversion factor that in every yard, it is equal to 3 feet. And so, we can multiply 64,240 yards to 3 feet over 1 yard. It is equal to 192,720 feet. We already converted the given value into the units of feet, and it's time to answer the question in the problem. We can just directly subtract the distance of the marathon Sarah is running to the distance already covered by Sarah. We've got 221,760 feet minus 192,720 feet, and it is equal to 29,040 feet. Therefore, Sarah needs to run 29,040 feet to finish the marathon. And that's the end of our discussion. But before we end this video, let's make a run through of what we've learned today, as we thought how to convert values from one unit to another, and also how to solve word problems that involve conversion of units and measurement. And what are those things that we need to do in order for us to solve the problem? Yes, you're right. First is to understand the problem. Figure out what are the given and what is asked in the problem. Then convert those values that needs conversion. Apply the needed operation and you will find the answer. And that's the end of our video. Thank you for watching.